is a test match between the old foes, and there is a man, he has been here, done it so many times, but yet, Eddie, Andy Farrell, and there is the big fella, Webcke. But Andy Farrell, he will admit that when it comes to playing against Australia, he has not hit the high spots. Tonight, I'm sure he will.
It looks like Andy Farrell will be the man who will kick off and get this Tri-Nations Game 3 in motion. And the big question is, who will hang on to the shirt tails of one Adrian Morley? Remember what happened directly from the kick-off last year when he hit Robbie Kearns and was sent from the field. Well, surely someone's got a hold of him tonight. The crowd rise, the ball's in the air, we're underway. And it's a deep kick-off. And it's collected. And they will run the ball back. And there's the first tackle of Morley with the second man in. And Jason Ryles was brought to ground. Morley missed that tackle, an attempt on Webcke. Farrell and Fielden, the men who completed the job.
Well, it was to be expected, Eddie. You can't say to Adrian Morley, just hang back. He wanted to get there, and the two prop forwards, they did the work.
4 tackles gone from Australia, still deep inside their own half of the field. Hindmarsh with nowhere to go. Good early exchanges here from Great Britain. This is the last one. Expect the kick. It's with Kimmorley. There is the kick right down the centre of the field, and it will bounce once, and Brian Carney of Wigan collects. And everybody, of course, remembers the opening test last year when Brian Carney scored 2 tries. Can history repeat itself?
Good work by Terry Newton, the Great Britain hooker there. He really put the pressure on Brett Kimmorley. They've got to do that for the full 80 minutes. If there's one thing that the Australians love, it's to be able to turn the opposition around again and again. So they've got to make sure that pressure is applied to every kicker.
Fielden plays the ball. Here is Shaun Long. And Shaun Long tried to make a little dart through. He was caught, though, by Kimmorley. Quick play of the ball. It was Gareth Ellis gets it away to Farrell. And Ellis was stood in front. And Wellens completes the job. I think that could have been classed as accidental offside, Steve-O, the kick downfield.
It should have been, but I think Glenn Black's inexperience. You can see there that Ellis was in front of the kicker, so therefore it should have been it. He allowed the advantage to Australia. They do have possession. It's always interesting to see that both sides, they just want to get in the first big hit. Forwards like to just take it up, hit the opposition, just get the feel of this game.
This is Jason Ryles trying to do that. That's a great tackle from Gareth Ellis of the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats, helped out by Adrian Morley. Here is Brett Kimmorley, trying to go between the two. Brian Noble watching on, chewing the gum as normal. It's Buderus' ball inside, and Gower with a high kick. It's sliced, and Reardon pounced it for Great Britain.
Great confidence boost there for Stuart Reardon. No stranger, of course, to the wing. Played for most of the season for the Bradford Bulls. Now then, can they get themselves into a good position, Great Britain? Ensure that when the kick's there, they can force Australia into their own defensive red zone.
Attempted high tackle there by Hindmarsh on Jamie Peacock. Peacock picks himself up, plays the ball to Newton. It goes down the right-hand side, and here is Paul Sculthorpe. 5 metres inside their own half, Great Britain here. And it's Fielden. Gets them over halfway, but the Australians know all about him because Fielden, one of the best front rowers in the world. It's back to Long. The kick is charged down again, but this time by a green and gold. And it's now with Berrigan, and Berrigan runs straight into the arms of Gareth Ellis.
For the second time, Australia have applied that pressure. It's not been the best kicking game so far from Great Britain.
Tony Carroll takes the tackle, second one this set of 6, just inside the British half of the field. Buderus spreads it to Craig Gower.
Interesting to see how Buderus is running into dummy half there, but they've used him as a first receiver on a couple of occasions.
Strong punishing run again from Shane Webcke, midway inside now. The British half of the field, the Australians. The captain, Buderus, to Gower. Gower looks right and finds Kimmorley. Kimmorley will attack, and that was an important tackle.
Certainly was. Kimmorley loves nothing better than just stepping off that right foot.
There's the kick down the line, and that's good work by Paul Wellens. Australia will get the extra set of 6 from the goal line dropout, but this is a dangerous kick.
Tremendous work by Craig Gower there. Just worked the short blind side. Fullback did right. They're trying to a chance of trying to force it in goal, just get it away. But this is one thing that the Australians are so good at. Just turning the screws time and time again. We often say throughout the season, Eddie, that if a side gets maybe 2 or 3 consecutive sets of 6, you'll guarantee they'll nearly always come up with points.
There has to be length on this kick from Andy Farrell then, from underneath his own posts. And he gets it almost to halfway. It bounces off the chest of Gower. And here comes Jason Ryles now for the Kangaroos. Second consecutive set of 6 for Australia. The crowd here now holding its breath as Webcke thought about the offload, but he was surrounded by 3. Buderus again. Gower once more. Back on the inside it goes, and Sculthorpe was waiting. Great tackle there on Andrew Ryan. Here is Gower. Attacking the line, Kimmorley.
They're hanging off, Eddie. You can't afford to do that with the 2 halfbacks, Gower and Kimmorley. You've got to get into their faces. They're just hesitating. Look, they're taking 1 step forward, but they're not doing it right.
Oh, and the ball is fed out wide. It wasn't the best pass. Rooney, though, retains possession for the Kangaroo, and he wipes the tackle count down, Ben Black. He wipes the tackle count down, so this is another set of 6 coming up here for the Great Britain defence to stand firm. Can they? This is Webcke.
They've got to get out of the blocks a lot quicker than this, Great Britain. Far too much hesitation, especially when the halfbacks get the football.
Kimmorley has got it. Good pass. Great tackle from Gleeson. Low down round the legs of Ryan. Ball in field. Here is Minichiello joining the line. Tries to stab the kick in. That's bounced loose. It's back towards halfway. Long is after it. Oh, but Berrigan gets to it first. And it's another set of 6. The referee again wipes that tackle count down. Here is Matt Singh for Australia.
Well, he obviously felt that the British boy took the leg out on purpose, so therefore, now if Britain can just hang on for this, unbelievable pressure, Eddie.
The pressure is enormous. It's with Gower again. He'll scamper forward, gets the pass away. I think that ball went backwards. It's play on. And the referee says play on from Australia. This is Tonie, Carroll, and Gareth and Chief Senior and Shaun combined to bring him down.
What a great boost it'll be for the British guys.
It's all Australia in terms of possession as Hindmarsh. And this is the last tackle. This is another set of 6 about to be completed. Will Britain stand firm? Gower slides the kick through. Bounces all over the show. Ball is loose. Half dead again. Another set of 6.
Oh, he's got it wrong as the official. That should have been a knock-on from Australia. Wayne Bennett will be happy with this.
Gower missed his kick completely.
He's got to be in an offside position. You can see him grab it. As soon as you kick it, you're supposed to give yourself 10 metres. Certainly didn't do that.
Actually, I think he did actually get a foot to it, Gower, to be fair. On that replay, I think it showed it quite plainly. But it's yet another set of 6 that Great Britain have to face. I think this is the 4th on a run. If they can stand firm after all this pressure, Britain will gain great confidence.
I think it's 5, Eddie. They haven't completed the full 6 on every occasion.
Oh, Webcke!
Webcke,
what a run! What a run from Webcke! Can't get the ball away!
Here we are! Cheering!
Just step through the challenges then. This is Buderus. And this now is Andrew Ryan. Good tackle again from his opposite number, Jamie Peacock, low down. It's with Gower. And Gower will find Kimmorley. What a hit from Farrell! Quick play of the ball though. Gower again. Gower with a dub over the line looking for Singh. Reardon gets it. And Reardon stays within the field of play.
Great kick over into the corner. Good positioning by Stuart Reardon. Obviously Wayne Bennett, the Australian coach, feels that the inexperience at international level at Reardon, but he really stuck to it under a lot of pressure. Well, what a relief and what a great take from that fella, Stuart Reardon. 5 opportunities the green and gold had. And look at the scoreline, 0-0.
Yes, 0-0. What a start though from Australia. All the territory belongs to them. This is the last tackle. Great Britain have to get a good kick away. Surely, penalty, surely no. forthcoming from Mr. Black. Long with the kick then, and he hoof it across field. Ian Millworth, can Great Britain take anything out of that early pressure that they've withstood?
Well, the first thing they've got to take out, Eddie, they didn't concede any points, and I think if you're a coach in the stand or a player out there, the first thing you want is a little bit of rhythm, and when you get that rhythm, you create field position, and you create through one area, and that's a kicking game early in the game. If you look at Great Britain, they might have done 5 sets in a row, and that all come back from their first 2 kicks. They couldn't get out of their half, so that's the area they need to fix up. The positive, they held them out, but you've got to remember, Minichiello at this stage of the tournament is a leading meter maker, leading clean breaks. If you don't have a good kicking game, he's going to burn you down this end of the park.
Wonder just how much petrol that will take out of the British tank, the fact they've had to defend and now continue to defend here. But there was nowhere there for Tonga to go. Good sliding defence from Martin Gleeson. Here is Gower, infield again to Kimmorley. Up goes the kick from Kimmorley, and Britain allow it to bounce, and it goes over the dead ball line. They will be happy with that. Hindmarsh was hunting though.
Took a huge gamble. Hindmarsh ran through, and the crowd and the fans don't like it because Hindmarsh sort of went in with a leg. Well, it's all the Australians, and the pressure really has been against Great Britain. They're hanging in there. The defensive line hasn't been good.
This is Farrell, just slipped at the vital moment. Carroll and Buderus with the tackle. That's number 3. They're still inside their own half. Fielden tries to get them over halfway now, and does. Fielden will get to his feet. He'll play the ball to Terry Newton. Here is Shaun Long. The ball goes left, and it's with Peacock, who flicks the ball and keeps it going to Gleeson. Back to Long, and Long trying to duck underneath the challenge. Newton, he'll go down the short side. A kick over the top from Sculthorpe to Belter, looking for Carney. Just found touch.
Quick thinking again, utilising the blind side, just like the Australians did a few moments ago. If there's anybody going to have a race, you can guarantee it will be on that negative side of the field. But he always had it covered, didn't he, Minichiello?
Perfect kick, though, from Paul Sculthorpe. Last 9 tests have all been at standoff. Even though he probably made his name as a loose forward, though don't forget he won the Man of Steel twice from the standoff half position.
I think it was the right choice by the GB coach Brian Noble. He knew the qualities, and plus the fact that the halfback Shaun Long, both from the same club, they read each other exceptionally well. He knows he's got Danny Maguire on the bench. He'll bring him on at the right time, when maybe the Australians are just starting to flag.
Ryles releases the ball. Hindmarsh manages to pick it up on the bounce and goes away from Farrell, and he takes them on again, but it's Peacock and Sculthorpe who bring him to the ground. 4 tackles gone. They go left with Gower, and further left again, and that is Willie Tonga. They're over halfway, but only just, and this is the last tackle, so expect the kick from Gower. There it is, another deep one, and that will skip away. Oh, but it will stand in the in-goal area. Work here for Paul Wellens to do, and he does it.
Great kick and chase there, Tony Carroll leading the way. Good thinking as well there by Paul Wellens. You could see that Carroll had just rolled off the tackle, played the ball very quickly.
Working very hard, Australia, to pen Great Britain back inside their own 10-metre mark, which they are doing, and Morley tries to drive the ball forward.
Problem is, Eddie, even though we're only 12 minutes into this game, what a great break!
Oh, what a break here from Jamie Peacock. He has Gleeson, he also has Newton, and Newton's got Gleeson, and Gleeson for the line. He has men wide. Gleeson doesn't need them. Gleeson with the try for Great Britain. After all that Australian pressure, the break from Peacock was magnificent, and they flooded up in support. Martin Gleeson marks his return to rugby league after 4 months on the sidelines. Peacock with the break, Gleeson with the try, Britain with the points. Great Britain ahead 4-0.
What a great try from this guy, but what a build-up, the beautiful pass from Sculthorpe. He just held it in time. Newton did ever so well, as every hooker should do. Couldn't get to him, Hindmarsh. You don't see that often. The big second rower falling off a tackle. Look at the ball back on the inside from Sculthorpe. Kept his cool. Back on the inside. Gleeson positioned himself well. Bang! Not often he slips away from those. Gleeson hasn't played a major game. They've had a trial game for nearly 5 months, this fella. And he has rewarded his selection with the first try of the game. Only the second opportunity that the British have been in the Australian half. And boy, they've come up with a 4-pointer. What a TRY.
It was the 11th of June when Martin Gleeson last played a competitive match. He will be with Warrington next year. And his try has now set up this conversion attempt for the British captain, Andy Farrell. 50 goals exactly for Great Britain in his career. This is his 30th cap, and he leads his country, as I said, for the 25th time. And the kick just slices away. Well, New Zealand couldn't kick a goal last week in the first half, and they maybe paid for it late on, but Great Britain lead 4-0.
You take your chances, but the skill here from Paul Sculthorpe. See how he just stepped and then pulls him across there. See how Craig Gower moved in the defensive line, couldn't get to the big fella. Neither could Hindmarsh when he tracks him down. Great effort to get himself back there, but the momentum takes it over. What a return to first-class rugby league.
That's a great kick. It bounced. The chase was wonderful by Buderus. And Morley had to take the tackle. Carney now for Britain. Big hit by Webcke and Andrew Ryan. Here is Stuart Reardon. Well, after all that pressure, Great Britain unbelievably are ahead. Sculthorpe gets the ball away. Gleeson. Here's Carney again. 16th game to be staged in or around the city of Manchester. Salford, Swinton, Bellevue and Old Trafford have all staged games previously, but this is a truly magnificent setting for this match tonight. Sculthorpe with the kick, not the best. Minichiello catches it on the fly. Breaks one tackle, can't get away from the next. Gleeson and Newton.
Well, it was a beautiful inside pass, wasn't it, that set Peacock away, but not the best kick from the standoff Paul Sculthorpe. He'd be disappointed in that. Got to start turning the full-back and the winger. Got to dissect them both.
That is Jason Ryles, who was a member of the 2001 Kangaroo Touring Party. Here is Shaun Webcke, arguably the greatest front rower in the world at the moment, but oh, that was dangerous. Newton was there, and so too Morley, and they lifted him.
Well, that was silly play that already stopped the progress.
And the referee wants a word with Adrian Morley.
9 millers. It's nice caretaker, but you can't lift them, okay? Just keep it down, please.
Well, to be fair, it was Newton that grabbed on the inside first. Okay, Morley joined in. Realised too late. They tried to drop him off. Well, the big prop forward knew he was going down to terra firma. But when you've done the hard work, you'd already stopped Webcke. Bennett, a bit concerned. Brian Noble, of course, he'll be quite happy. I mean, the pressure that Australia, I think they had the ball for 9.5 minutes. Couldn't get over.
Here we are.
Coming up to the 16th minute of this Game 3 of the Gillette Tri-Nations, and Webcke again hits the deck. Oh, he tried to get that ball the way out and knocked on, but Morley will have it.
Why on earth did he try to offload there? All that heavy traffic.
Here's Farrell again.
Well, they've been knocked off the pedestal at the moment. That was an impossible effort there from the prop forward Webcke.
He tried to get it between the legs of Adrian Morley, didn't he?
They didn't need it. They needed possession just to settle things down.
Very early in the tackle count. Here is Fielden, but no way through. Andrew Ryan with the tackle. And here is Sculthorpe. And oh, he hangs on somehow, Jamie Peacock. It's encouraging, Ian, this, though, for Great Britain.
Oh, it's a fantastic start. They've weathered all this pressure, and on top they've come up with a try. And it was a great inside ball. You'd expect Great Britain to be the ones vulnerable back on the inside with all the defence they've had to do, but it was Australia back on the inside of the ball from Sculthorpe, and that's a great sign for Great Britain. As long as they get this kicking game going, they look very sharp, Great Britain, I should say.
Ian, I was just about to make the point when Peacock made that break, is that Great Britain have had to do so much tackling, it's got to take its effect late in the game.
Well, it does, but it doesn't as much when you're leading on the scoreboard. You can really grow to new heights there, and that's a little bit of a concern. The other thing, Australia seems to be offloading the ball a little bit more than they have in the other two games, and in fact, it's probably curtailed a little bit their go forward and made it a little bit disruptive instead of where they've built pressure in the last two games to get field position.
And that bounced off a chest, and that is flicked back by Carroll, and there's problems here. No, it's still played a knock-on, and is it Australia by... The knock-on by Australia. Yes, it is. It's head and feed to Great Britain.
Well, the delayed pass there. Tony Carroll, really impossible to get to it. Right into his face there. I must say, I've been impressed with Gareth Ellis. Got through a ton of defence.
Great Britain then with Paul Sculthorpe in possession. 18 minutes gone. 4-0 they lead. And it's with Newton. And Newton just delayed the pass, and it went to ground, and Reardon did well. Reardon did very well, under enormous pressure there from Berrigan.
You can sense that the Australians are rattled, Eddie, mainly due to the fact that there's quite a few of them just trying to grab.
Shaun Long, can he sparkle against Australia tonight? To halfway. Trying to get to his feet, being held down a little. Good ball though, reverse pass. Farrell again, bounces off one, gets the ball away. Almost through. And Ellis having 2 goes there to get to his feet.
Well, he's obviously being told, as this referee from New Zealand, don't care what happens in and around the play the ball area. If they try to grab on the second occasion, pull the leg, he's being told just play on.
Well, it was one of the Australians' major concerns about his ability to control the ruck.
Well, he's not controlling it, he's just ignoring it. Get on with it.
Well, neutral referees are the way forward for International Rugby League, Steve-O. We can't...
It has to be, of course.
We can't say anything about that. But here come the Aussies in the shape of Andrew Ryan. Tackle completed, though, by Carney and Jamie Peacock. They're still inside their own half. Now they're over halfway with Hindmarsh.
If the referee does exactly the same for both sides, there's no complaints.
Last one here for Australia. Here comes the kick from Kimmorley. It's a high kick as well. It will turn Wellens around. Watching it all the way, the fullback pouches it well. And change there. Willie Mason is on for Australia. Carney from dummy half. Spins away from 2.
That's a typical example of the point that I was trying to make in regards to a lot of these Australians. They're grabbing, they're not really going down for the leg.
Movement.
The referee calling for movement from the players doing the tackle. That was high.
Certainly was.
Kimmorley caught. Stuart, Fielden. It was just a reaction, to be fair, but it was high.
It always is a reaction when you belt a fella right in the face. He knew exactly what was happening there. And it just shows you yet again a little bit of frustration.
On me, here.
Well, listen, we were counting chickens a few times last year, and we'll try not to do that tonight.
Well, I do know that Brian Noble has been working very hard with the squad in the situation where last year it was in the last 5 or 7 minutes on all 3 occasions in all those 3 tests that they just capitulated against the Australians. They've been working on it very, very hard indeed. They've been going through the training runs and actually giving them an extra 5 minutes to really work overtime.
Here is Shaun Long, had to stretch to get that, got the ball away to Sculthorpe. And here is Wellens. That was a St Helens combination there. Sculthorpe in once again, dummy half. He will attack them and he'll find Peacock again. Peacock can't get away. Hindmarsh was the second man in.
Now
the original tackle came in from Ryan.
Now it's the Australians that are a little bit hesitant. Oh, good scoop up there.
And the crowd screaming for an knock-on.
Well, it looked as though it was a stray knee from Gareth Ellis.
And Gower, the man who felt this.
You feel that the left knee went right in.
That's cool.
He's worked very, very hard as Gareth Ellis.
It's going to be play the ball and respawn.
Bump, there's the knee, and maybe just the knee making contact at the base of the spine from Shaun Long as well.
Andy Farrell is asking there for a knock-on, but Glenn Black says that he's had the word in the ear from the video referee and the match commissioner, despite the fact that the ball came out of Gower's grasp, that it will not be a knock-on. Ian Milford, how do you see that?
Well, you know, he's injured and the ball's rolled out. He didn't lose the ball in contact on the ground. I think fair enough, it should be a play the ball. But I just throw my 2 bobs worth into this referee at the moment. I know he's copped a little bit of criticism during the week about his 10 metres. I just feel at the moment he's trying too hard to get him back 10 metres, and he's losing sight of the ruck area. And at the moment, they're doing too much work in the ruck area, which is taking too long. He needs to do both. Mark the 10 and control the ruck. He's only doing one at the moment.
You're right, Ian, because he's not even in control, he's just ignoring the damn thing.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure, wasn't he? Everyone said he can't get him back 10 metres. And, you know, and that's all playmanship before a game. But at the moment, he's got to control that. Otherwise, we're not going to see a lot of breaks in this game.
It's Ryles for Australia, halted by Stuart Fielden. Good defence again here on show from Great Britain. And early in the tackle count, the kick from Kimmorley. And this will bounce a little awkwardly for Reardon. Went backwards, says Glenn Black.
Oh, lucky to get away with that.
He was.
Stuart Reardon, to me, looked as though he'd lost control of it.
Now Keith Senior.
And that's another problem that Glenn Black is totally ignoring.
But it did go backwards, that's fair play.
I've seen them give him before. But that's the area I was playing as well, is that, you know, the first and second markers, they're moving off quickly before the ball's been played. We have seen very few breaks from the dummy half position. That's the reason why.
Brian Carney, who took that last tackle as Farrell takes this next one. Carney has played just 10 times this year for Wigan. Long hasn't played much football recently either. The kick, again, not the best. And Luke Rooney has it here for Australia.
Here we are, holding here. It's one.
Minichiello gets the ball away to Willie Tonga. Gleeson and Carney with the tackle.
This is where the Australians have got to look to their pack now. They've got to get themselves grinding back into this match. Just taking the ascendancy as the British boys. That's where the power pack has to come to play. Get through some hard, solid work. Put them in a good position. Make sure it's a good kick and chase.
Andrew Ryan on his full international debut plays the ball. This is Willie Mason. This is a danger man for the Australians. He'll play the ball on the last and he'll find Gower, who's fully recovered. Now, that was not played at, so it's still the 5th tackle. Gareth Ellis turned his back. Still the last tackle, so Minichiello will put the kick in. And that will stand in the in-goal area as well, will it? No, it just... Brian Carney knew it was going to skip its way over the dead ball line.
Well, I think both coaches will be getting the message out. Look, if you're going to get the kick away, then make sure that you give yourself a lot of space.
Terry, it's controlled, mate.
Quite a lot of them being charged down, and that means that they're taking the kick far too near the defensive line. Give yourself another 2 or 3 metres back.
Thank you.
Newton gets the ball away. Here is Jamie Peacock of the Bradford Bulls, and waiting his chance to come on. 20-year-old Ryan Bailey for his test debut. As Sculthorpe manages to offload the ball brilliantly, and he finds Wellens. Newton, a dummy half. Long is waiting, and here he is. Little drop of the shoulder, gets to halfway.
Good work as well by Shaun Long, because in the past we really have struggled to somebody out there to take on the Australian defence, ask a few questions. We haven't done that in the past. We are tonight.
Farrell dabs the ball down the line. Reardon is after this. Minichiello, though, his favourite. And Minichiello gets it. Farrell, who put the kick in, plays them all onside, gets the tackle. Now here is Matt Singh. The longest-serving member in the party, Matt Singh. 29 years of age. He's winning his 10th cap for Australia tonight. Here is Berrigan. And Bailey with his first tackle in international football.
Pretty smart thinking as well from Berrigan. See that there was no one jumping in there to the dummy half position. One of the very few occasions we've seen anybody scoot away from the dummy half.
Missed tackle there on Gower. He was able to make 10, 15 metres. Buderus. Willie Mason helps it on Hindmarsh. And Hindmarsh is wrapped up by Paul Sculthorpe on the last. They're keeping the ball alive, and there's the kick, and that will run dead as well, will it? No, it won't. Yes, it will. What a deep in-goal area here.
Certainly is, but the pressure being applied yet again by the Great Britain side is very impressive.
Oh, and Senior got the ball away, and Reardon did brilliantly to pick it up on the bounce. Wayne Bennett, the Australian coach, he has Not lost a test as the Australian coach. 1998, 2 from 2, and 2 wins and a draw, of course, this time round since he's been in charge. Here is Bailey. Will play the ball to Terry Newton. He'll flick it back to Andy Farrell. And Farrell spins, couldn't get it away. The tackle was completed low down by
Ooh, very slow there, Newton.
Good ball, though, again from Sculthorpe. He finds Gareth Ellis. It's the last one here for Great Britain.
Maybe the bomb.
It's with Sculthorpe. No, a dab down the line. Dab down the line, and it just runs too deep.
Just shows you the amount of pressure that both sides are having to absorb.
Brian Noble was very close, I think, to asking Paul Sculthorpe to captain this Great Britain side, but in the end opted again for Andy Farrell. And that's a great tribute, actually, to Farrell. Well, the new coach could have easily said, let's have a new skipper.
Yeah, he's certainly had his chances, hasn't he, out there, but he's just been magnificent as Andy Farrell this year.
Well, the man of steel, of course, the player of the year.
It'll be interesting to see whether Brian Noble utilises him and moves maybe Andy Farrell up to prop in the second half, use him as a grafting forward, which is done for Wigan this year.
Minichiello nowhere to go. Great tackle again by Farrell. Here's Gower, finds Kimmorley. Senior tries to wrap him up, and with a little bit of help from Sculthorpe does. That's the last. Buderus. And the kick down the line. And doesn't find touch. Wellens with a bit of work to do. Oh, he gets over the whitewash. Berrigan was after him.
Great chase, good kick, but even better from Paul Wellens. And what a hit from Hindmarsh.
Well, Reardon was on the deck.
Nothing wrong with it. Even tackle hadn't been completed. No one to him. It's only a penalty if someone's hanging off him and he comes in for a flop.
Australia are up the ante here a bit. Britain struggling to get the ball away from their own line. This is the last one. They're just, well, 15 metres because they came from the in-goal area. So Long will have to kick well here. And it's not the best because Minichiello catches it on the fly.
Well, Long did everything right there. He gave himself a couple of metres so that no one was going to be able to charge it down. As you say, not the best, right down the throat.
Luke Rooney now.
That's good.
This is Willie Tonga and Chev Walker. Another substitute, another change by Great Britain. Civoniceva. Kimmorley. Great play from Long. Knock on, was it? Surely a knock on it was. Wonderful tackle from Shaun Long on Brett Kimmorley.
Great stuff, ball and all. Ricochets, was going forward to start with, irrespective of whether it went backwards on the second occasion.
Steve, I remember sitting in a car with Shaun Long all the way down from St Helens to boots and all when he was going to make his comeback at Bradford for the Saints, and he was so enthusiastic about taking part and competing in this Tri-Nations. And that tackle, that just emphasises it.
Certainly did, and he knew he'd done wrong. He paid the price, but out of the game for 3 months, and he just wants to show his best for his country, as everyone should. But I'm getting the impression, you know, that Australia, they're really missing Darren Lockyer. He's the kingpin as far as I'm concerned. We saw against the Kiwis, especially in the second half last Saturday, the way that he was taking the ball, second receiver, and he just had the speed and the step. There he is.
Yes, looks a little concerned, the Australian touring captain. This is Ryan Bailey. Britain will be anxious to get over the whitewash again for a try before half-time. They'll be probably more anxious to keep Australia out. That's a good kick. Oh, that will run dead, though. Just an ounce too much on it from Paul Sculthorpe. Ian Milward's alongside us, half an hour gone. Honours even.
Well, Eddie, I think the proof in the pudding is the ball inside by Sculthorpe for the try. And unfortunately for Great Britain, they've gone away from that now. That was the easy way to the try line. Every time Long's gone to the line, the halfback, he's always got runners on the outside. I'd love to see someone coming back against the grain or back on the inside. They look a little bit vulnerable there tonight in Australia. And I'd like to see Great Britain get back into that because we've only got one try, and that's how it came.
And here now is Shane Webcke for Australia.
Here we are, Terry. Terry with me, mate. Thank you. Cheers.
So far, defence from both sides, pretty good. Just the one try scored by Martin Gleeson, what a headline that will be in the morning. But Gleeson on his return with the try. Kimmorley with the kick. Oh, and it's a wicked bounce again for Reardon. Oh, he's lost it.
Oh, that'll be a penalty offside. Surely they'll take the 2 points, or will they go for the pressure? Will they try to go for the 4, or will they take the easy 2? I just get the impression maybe the green and golds might do that. Good pressure yet again from Kimmorley.
See, senior just in front of the man. The kick was great from Kimmorley.
Certainly was.
They have gone for the power play. Now this is a big moment of the match for Great Britain. And here is Gower.
Oh, that was a mile forward. Not seen by the officials.
Or his touch judge on the far side. This is Webcke. Great Britain standing firm. Only 3 penalties in the match. Here is Gower. Here's Kimmorley attacking the line. Gets it to Berrigan. He skipped away from the first challenge. Bailey gets into the marker position. Buderus attacking the line again. He slips. Civoniceva to Berrigan. Kick to the in goal and to the...
Shows you the respect that the Australians have for this British defence, and he knows it, Wayne Bennett. They've had to utilise the kick yet again, time and time. And the people don't like the fact that the official, Glenn Black, will not allow Britain the chance to tap on the 22 very quickly.
Here. Well, thank you, hold.
Gleeson plays the ball to Newton. And this is Wellens. In for the injured Chris Radlinski. Not a bad replacement. Sculthorpe. Adrian Morley about to come back on. The third interchange you saw there for Great Britain. Carney! Turning away! Now then, Carney has got the speed to take on Minichiello. He has! Carney with the try in the corner. Just what he did 12 months ago. But Glenn Black will hand it on to the video referee. But Carney believes he scored. Carney with the pace out wide. And Minichiello, if he gets the ball down with no answer.
This will be the try. There it is, just before it hits the whitewash. It only takes an inch, but that is sufficient. The grounding is okay. You can see that the right boot is yet to hit the whitewash. But what a wonderful solo effort. This is what has become famous for, running from dummy half, and they called the Australians out. Here it comes, TRY. Listen to the crowd here.
Second try for Great Britain, scored by Brian Carney, his third international try, and all 3 have come against the men in green and gold. The Irish international playing for Great Britain tonight, his 4th cap, and how priceless this might be.
Very slow to notice. Willie Tonga extremely slow at the second marker there, and he knew that soon as he got away. But what about an in and out there? Minichiello is no slouch, isn't the full-back, but neither is Brian Carney. There's no look at the Irish about this one. That's an absolute perfect winger's try. As soon as he made the break, he came infield, in and out, and look at the crowd when this came up. Boy, they're happy. Second try for Great Britain, fully deserved. Hasn't played for a long time. I think it's about 43 minutes in 6 weeks.
He's only made 10 appearances this year for Wigan. He's only scored 2 tries. Boy, he will remember that one for a long time. And the man who averages a try every other game in the Tetley Super League, Brian Carney, has come up with the second 4-pointer for Great Britain. Stretching the hamstrings, just trying to get the cramp away from the muscles. Crisis behind the posts for the Australians. Andy Farrell then, a very difficult kick, but he has kicked these for fun in the Super League over the past 9 years. It's on its way, and he's missed another. Well, this is exactly what New Zealand did last week. They scored tries against the Aussies. They didn't convert them, and we know what happened in the second half. 4 tries to 0 to Australia. But Great Britain ahead 8-0.
Wonderful play there. You can see that Gower and Ryan are going the same way. They're going right. And look how Tonga just hung around. In international rugby league football, you can't afford to have two guys going the same way at a play-the-ball situation. And then when your centre can see that, it's slow to react. Carney wasn't. I'm away.
Adrian Morley takes the second tackle. 5.5 minutes to half-time. Farrell again with the drive forward. He would love to have kicked those two conversions. Here is Wellens. He finds Teeth Senior. The tackle good low down was by Berrigan. Here goes Newton. And they're offside, Australia. I think it's not standing square he's given this for. And he's right, they were all over the shop.
They try to get there, but I'm afraid they were very, very slow. And that's the first time that Glenn Black, the official, has pulled either side up for it.
Newton to Farrell, looked for Long and found him. Good ball then from Long to Sculthorpe, and he's surrounded by three. Civoniceva there, and also Willie Mason. Here is Ryan Bailey. Big raw-boned youngster from the Leeds Rhinos, champion club, of course, in the Super League. Newton finds another one, Walker. All over the top of him. Newton are so close. Great Britain, Newton gets the ball away. Oh, big hit.
What a tackle.
What a tackle that was.
With Willie Mason, it had to be. It was a try-saver.
Gareth was almost scoring the try. Not the best pass from Long. They'd all overrun it. It was on the last, to be fair.
And they had the overlap as well. Brian Noble is aware of it. Pats his players on the back, says, sorry, fellas, but they had the numbers. Look at that. There were no one coming back on the inside. Everybody wanted to go out wide. I mentioned the fact before the kickoff that I always thought that Shaun Berrigan a little bit loose in that defensive pattern in the centres, and you could see it there. Craig Gower, he'd gone out early. You've got to go as one unit.
Shane Webcke, oh, and there's a problem there for Chev Walker.
It's his shoulder there.
And he has a problem, but he's getting back into the defensive line. The physios are on their way to try and treat him. Grimacing, the Leeds youngster. 4 tackles gone here for Australia. Ooh, and it's a great run from Civoniceva in the end, and a good job that Bailey was round his ankles. That's the last. And here is Gower, and they're running it wide here with Tonga. Back it comes to Gower, and Gower with a kick, and that's out on the full.
Well, Wayne Bennett knows they've got a few problems. They're really being harassed.
Well, Steve, what people at home didn't see, we had the camera in the Australian dressing room immediately before the match. We saw it before we came on air, and Wayne Bennett was a man alone with his thoughts. He was very, very pensive. He knows the challenge that faces him tonight. Oh,
without a doubt. I mean, he was the driving force behind it to introduce the Tri-Nations, because he felt that Australia had taken so much control. Remember a couple of years ago when they gave him a right battering down in Australia, and he said they can't afford that. And full credit to him, he put his hand up and said, I not only want to be involved in the Tri-Nations, get it started, I want to be the Australian coach. So he's put his career on the line.
Yes, his reputation is there, of course. Here is Farrell for Great Britain. Kimmorley holds him, but no, he doesn't. Escapes the net. Another couple of metres.
I'd drive forward and get 1 point here.
Newton to Long, dancing, gets the ball away, but Wellens tackled on the last. Here's Long again. Little kick, a little dab to the in-goal area. That was skipped dead. Less than 2 minutes to go to half-time. Great Britain to hold what they have, Ian.
Well, they've been clearly the better team in the first half. They've absorbed pressure, and now they're starting to apply pressure at the back end. Gee, this is going to get a game out of the 2 sevens. Which 7 can create more doubt around the rucks? Long is now starting to come into his game. He's looking the inside, outside. If you look on the last play when the ball went dead over the other side there, Eddie, he wanted players to hit into a hole, not chase the ball, hit into a hole. Kimmorley's looking for go forward. So it's going to be who can go forward and which 7 can take advantage of it.
It's Craig Wing for Australia. Buderus, the captain, off the field. Kimmorley wide to Gower and further wide to Luke Rooney. Haven't really got the ball to the flying winger yet, Australia.
This is a major time now for Great Britain. They've got to make sure that they don't just collapse. They've done it so often in the past, and Mason's
on his way to the corner. Wellens is with him, couldn't stop him, and Mason with the try. Mason stepped out of the challenges. It's exactly what Wayne Bennett wanted. What a try that was from Willie Mason. The man I understand that Brian Noble believes is the big danger from Australia, Willie Mason. It's his 12th cap, and it's his 4th international try.
Well, they went far too high. You've got to go for the legs of this fella. Okay, he's got huge thighs, but that was a great effort. I barely got it out of the mouth and said, this is where Britain have to really, really make sure that they just get their defensive quality good. And it's the first time in the first 40 minutes, or 38 anyway, that they have just relaxed. We saw it against the Test last year in all 3 of them. We just fall for the 5-card trick. We look towards the half-time hooter. We say, we're in the lead. We'll go in at half-time full of confidence. The Australians are back into it now. They have lost the ascendancy as Great Britain.
Andy Farrell's reading the riot act to his men, because I'm sure he, like us, will remember last year in the Test match at Hull, Craig Fitzgibbon scoring a vital try right on the bell of half-time. Kimmorley to add the extras? No. Not a goal kick by either Great Britain or Australia. It's 2 tries to 1, but the important one right on half-time from big Willie Mason of the...
It's a buoyant crowd at the City of Manchester Stadium. Adrian against hope that their Chargers can finally bring an end to this long losing run against the Aussies. Great Britain lead 8-4 at half-time. Time to go back to Eddie Hemmings and Mike Stevenson.
I think we are in for a bumpy 40 minutes. Australia get us underway in the second half. Kimmorley's kick-off. Long is underneath it. And here comes Adrian Morley.
Here we are. I mean, Carney.
Steve-O, Great Britain must not concede anything too early.
You're right there. It's so important, and I'm sure that Brian Noble would have stressed to the players that try not to do anything stupid in the opening 5 or 10. You know, that they were under the caution the opening 10 in that first half. If they can just get a repeat of that, they were building in confidence. It was a little bit of a lax situation in defence that allowed Willie Mason. Well, okay, we know he's a big guy, but Gleeson went high. Maybe it's because Gleeson has not been out of the game for so long. It's going to take its effect late as this game goes on.
Long scampers into dummy half, but he punts the kick downfield. Minichiello, though, as he has done for much of the night, he feels the kick, and he will begin the counter-attack. He gets as far as the Great Britain first line of defence. When will Danny Maguire be introduced to this Test match?
I think after about 10 minutes, I'm sure that Mr. Noble would have said to Shaun Long, I want everything for you in that 10 minutes of this second half. Do your best. Then when the game's just getting where both sides tiring a bit, we know the quality of Danny Maguire, but we've also got to outweigh that with the fact he's inexperienced at this level.
Well, maybe that in many ways is a good thing, Steve-O, if you don't know what's going to face you. And he's got 39 tries for Leeds in 30 appearances for the champions. Kimmorley with the kick. Again, it was at Reardon. Reardon this time copes with it well. One-handedly held that ball. And Carroll comes in and finishes him off. Paul Wellens for Great Britain.
This is where Britain just have to blend together, make sure that they talk to each other, know what's happening. No silly passes, just control. I get the impression, though, that Wayne Bennett would have said to his Australian counterpart, he'd just say, listen, we need a little bit more. And I think the 2 halfbacks, Gower and Kimmorley, will start working a little bit nearer to the ruck. They were out wide in the centres in that first half.
Good ball from Long, and it goes wide eventually to Senior through the hands there of Farrell. And here is Farrell again, a crossfield kick. And Sculthorpe after it. Luke Rooney, though, collects it. Or terrific tackling by Walker.
What about the confidence, though, by the winger Luke Rooney?
Minichiello for Australia. Let's get the half-time news. Great Britain first, Bill.
Eddie, apart from that late blip when they allowed Willie Mason to slip through their fingers, Great Britain did very satisfied with that first half, particularly the defensive effort. Kicking game could be improved on, and that's one area where they really do want to tighten things up to get some repeat sets against this Australian side and keep them pinned down in their own territory. The injury news is good. We saw Chev Walker being treated late on in that first half for what looked like a shoulder problem. He's come through that okay.
You'll notice that Danny Buderus was brought off after about 30 minutes of the first half. It's his first game as captain of the Kangaroos. I am told injury-wise he's fine, although Coach Wayne Bennett thought he might have some other options with Craig Wing out there. So Craig Wing has started the first half in the dummy half position. There's an embarrassment of riches, I guess, in the playing stock, but look at the coach's bench as well. And you've got Craig Bellamy in there, Melbourne Storm coach. You've got probably the best ever hooker in the modern era, Steve Walters. And you've got North Queensland hard man Billy Johnson, all helping Wayne Bennett. But very calm, cool and collected. One thing they want to pick up is a few defensive lapses around the fringe.
Nice run from Terry Newton. Gets Great Britain to halfway. Senior. Here's Farrell. Showed it. Keeps going, Farrell. Hauled down on the last, just over the halfway line, just inside Australia territory. Wait for the kick from long. There it is. Left-footed, and this time it will turn Rooney around. Good kick. How's the chase?
Not very good from the one-man Brian Carney, Eddie. He was hobbling it for that kick. It looks as though the hamstring is causing him trouble yet again. We knew it was a big gamble by Brian Noble, and he looks as though it could have tweaked.
Well, it would be a shame for Brian Carney if it has happened again after that try in the first half. Oh, great one here from Webcke. And very good tackle from Gareth Ellis, who has excelled at loose forward tonight. There he is again, gets the tackle, but the ball goes to Kimmorley and then to Tony Carroll, who's halted by his former Leeds teammate Keith Senior. And here is Kimmorley now with a kick down the line. Wellens is after this, but the ball will make its way to the touchline. And Brett Kimmorley trying to stoke up the fuel for Australia. And Carney has come from the field as we watch that. Steve-O was right. There obviously is a problem for Brian Carney early in this second half.
Well, he's gone right down the tunnel straight away, so they obviously feel that they can patch him up. But we saw there a different attitude from the Australians. Quite happy. Remember, quite a few of their kicks have gone high, right down the throat of the British players. And I think they're just quite happy. Wayne Bennett obviously said to Kimmorley, look, let's put them down, let's have the scrum, and we can apply the pressure. Maybe that Britain will come up with the error.
Here's Wellens. He skips away from that tackle. Can't get away from those two, though. It was Craig Wing and Civoniceva.
Petero, hands out there, mate. Two.
And here is Jamie Peacock again. Big collision. It was Gower in there first, also Andrew Ryan. Now here's Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe again making valuable meters for Great Britain. Newton, Bailey. Ryan Bailey will relish this challenge.
Here we are, Tonie.
And it's Jamie Peacock, of course, who has come onto the field for Brian Carney. Walker has gone on to the wing. And that's not the best kick again. Luke Rooney. Gleeson gets the tackle in.
Far better option to give it plenty of height. The floodlights here, you know, they're really, really high in the stands. A little bit of height to the football could create a problem.
Gower for Australia tries to go inside Morley. Oh, flicks. A careless pass. They lose a bit of momentum. Can they pick it up again, Australia?
Adrian. Three home. It's good.
Ryan Noble, anxious moments for him. Here's Webcke again. Great tackle. Great tackle by Terry Newton. Here's Ryan. Kimmorley steps inside one challenge. Mason.
It looks like we got a problem with Terry Newton there. When they brought the ball back on the inside, Newton just couldn't get to him.
Little dab over the top. Great dab too. Oh, knocked forward by Kimmorley. Wellens has it. And Wellens will make some ground here. Great run from the fullback. Halted by Berrigan.
Neat little chip over, just got too many there in front of the man. Little bit of luck, swinging out wide. That went backwards. No, he's called it.
Oh, well, the whistle has gone. The whistle has gone, but I tell you what, if that's a knock-on, maybe that should have been play-on. And Wayne Bennett, I I think he is looking quizzically in the direction of Glenn Black.
The crowd's so loud he hasn't heard me. Okay? Okay? I called it early, okay? Because of the crowd, okay?
Well, he certainly whistled very, very quickly. It's the first header that we've seen from Gareth Ellis. He's had a fine game.
But again, Terry Newton just didn't move to get onto that loose ball. Wonder if there is a problem there with the British hooker.
Well, there certainly is. He had treatment on the run. A little step on the inside there. And Bennett is always cool, calm and collected, isn't he? He never shows much emotion. We often say about Tony Smith at Leeds looking like a cardboard cutout. He's got a partner there, hasn't he? No emotion shown on the face of Wayne Bennett.
Farrell just a signal to the bench. I think that Terry Newton maybe needs a little bit of treatment here, and maybe it will be in the hooking role that Danny Maguire is introduced to Test match football. He's down on the sideline just warming up, but no sign of him as yet.
Well, remember also as well, Terry Newton 5 or 6 weeks ago, Ed, he was out for the season with that dislocated thumb, the broken thumb. There he is, he's come back. Marvellous comeback.
Great tackle there by Peacock on Webcke. Gower finds Civoniceva. Britain rough handle him to the ground. Morley and Bailey. This is Gower again. Good ball to Ryan. And Great Britain drop on the loose ball gratefully in the shape of Martin Gleeson.
A little bit too fancy there, Australia. It'd have been far better served just to ground the ball forward, get himself into a good position. We've already seen Kimmorley kick directly into touch. Just a bit too smart. Not needed.
Farrell for Great Britain. 4 points the difference. 8 minutes of this second half gone. Tension all around the city of Manchester Stadium, where this Gillette Tri-Nation game number 3 is being played. Australia win it, they're straight through to the final on the 27th of November. Britain, of course, have to win 2 out of 4 to get there with them. Next week it's New Zealand at Huddersfield for Great Britain. Australia will have the week off. Sculthorpe with the kick downfield, a poor kick again, straight into Minichiello's arms. The kicking game is where Brian Noble will be concerned, I think.
Well, that's giving away 10 metres, isn't it? Every time he goes right down the throat.
Here's Luke Rooney.
Big question, and you can feel the buzz in the air in this stadium. When will they bring out the superstar, Danny Maguire? Can he lift his game on the international level?
Ian Millwood is one of the top coaches in the business, and Great Britain have conceded a penalty here. But Ian, when would you be tempted to bring Maguire on?
Well, it's a bit of to and fro here at the moment. If you look at Great Britain, 10 minutes in the second half, they're playing better than they did in the first 10 minutes. Because the reason the first half, they were doing all the tackling. At the moment, they're conserving some energy. I know you're saying, I think we should get him on now, because both teams are just shadow sparring with each other. Get him on now. But the other thing is, don't bring Long off. Bring Sculthorpe into loose forward, into lock, and then move Maguire into 6. I think that'll be the change I'll be looking for at the moment. Bring one of the 13s off or the second rowers. But at the moment, get him on now, because it's a real shadow spar at the moment. They need someone to pick it up and go.
They do, as Wing does for Australia, who flicks it back to Andrew Ryan. And Ryan helps it on to Kimmorley. There's a little gap for Kimmorley. Farrell was quick to close it, and a good job too. And here now is Craig Gower. And Morley gets to him and strikes him to the ground, Adrian Morley.
He's proven to be the difference, though, the man at dummy half, Craig Wing. He's set this forward pack alight at the moment.
This tackle on Gower, they get it wide. This is Willie Tonga back on the inside, and wide to Rooney, who levels the score for Australia. Was there an element of forward? The referee, Glenn Black, gives the try. Scores a level here. This fella's got in international football already. 3 tries in 2 internationals so far before tonight. And that's his 4th international try, and he only burst onto the scene in the game in Auckland 2 weeks ago.
Tremendous build-up. See how Kimmorley brought it back on the inside. Good offload as well. And you can see the defence was all at sea. And I'm afraid Martin Gleeson is struggling to get himself in a situation. He looks a touch forward perhaps, but take nothing away from the pass from Minichiello. The inside pass from Willie Tonga was quite superb. This is the one that looked a bit dodgy. Different angles give you the wrong impression at times, but you can hear the crowd, mostly British, not too impressed with that. But that was a wonderful breakup. Brought about by this fella, straightening things up, coming back from the open side, back into the field of play and kept it alive.
We haven't seen a goal kick yet tonight. We still haven't seen a goal kick yet tonight. It's 8-all. The Gillette Tri-Nations Game 3, Great Britain 8, Australia 8. It is finely balanced. Brian Noble, wrestling no doubt with the decision when to introduce Danny Maguire. He just might be the X-factor, Steve.
He could be, yes, but I think after you've just conceded a try, it's a bit difficult because you may send out the wrong message that it's a panic move. Give him another 5-10 minutes, whoever is thinking about taking off, and then bring him on.
Bill Arthur's got news of Brian Carney, I believe.
Brian Carney is out on the sidelines. He's back on that Great Britain bench. It is a recurrence of the hamstring problem that he suffered in the last few weeks. Not a full-blown hamstring pull. He's in fact been into the dressing room, had a bit of massage. He's come back out onto the sidelines, and there is a suggestion that he could be able to come back.
The signs are ominous for Great Britain whilst the Kangaroos are moving the ball around with breathtaking speed. That was wing. This now is Minichiello, and senior and long get to him.
He's been a revelation, this fella Craig Wing.
This is Kimmorley, running flat, looking for the opening. It nearly appeared. Last tackle here for Australia, Gower. And Gower, they've asked him for the kick through, and there is the kick. Brilliantly picked up by Shed Walker.
It had to be, there were 3-on-1 there. Talk about putting your body on the line, but what a superb weighted kick that was.
And here comes Gleeson again. What a take. Peacock.
But what a kick from Craig Gower. They're getting very strong. Gower, Kimmorley. The combination with the substitute Craig Wing in and around the play the ball area really is hurting the British boys.
What a tackle that was by Andrew Ryan on Sculthorpe. Here is Long.
Whoa, went for it. Should have been
Tony Carroll.
Well, he should be penalised for that. Tried to knock his head off.
And Farrell with the kick downfield. Well, that at least goes between Rooney and Minichiello. And Fielden's leading the chase. Here's Rooney, though. This fella has speed to burn, and he can attack from deep. Great tackle, Wellens.
It had to be. It was try time there. But this is the incident where we should have got a penalty. And I must say, Eddie, that kick and chase, there was only one man running through. They were very slow coming back on the inside.
Webcke makes way for Jason Ryles. Australia on halfway, play the ball with Carroll. Here now is Kimmorley. And the big man, Mason. Tackle low down by Peacock, finished off by Sculthorpe. Here's Jason Ryles. This is Minichiello. Great Britain surround the man carrying the football. Australia ahead in terms of possession. Ryles again. That's the last. Wing, the dummy half, infield to Gower. High kick, another big test here for Reardon. Oh, he's knocked it back. And Tony Carroll has hacked the ball forward and out.
Great Britain.
Should be the turnover. Always put the scrum down.
Great Britain's head and feed.
I don't think it was touched by Reardon. Pressure by Willie Tonga.
Well, yes, Tony Carroll in the World Cup in 2000. He scored a try for New Zealand against Australia. The first man in, or rather the third man in history, and only the first in 90 years to play for both Australia and New Zealand at this level. That's a penalty. Jason Ryles flopping on Shaun.
No doubt about it. Although it just had a grab of the ankle. Getting back to that Tony Carroll situation, Eddie, if I was a youngster trying to break my way through into the Australian side, I wouldn't be too impressed. You know, we often boast about Australia. They've got such wonderful talent coming through, youngsters, and they try to give them the opportunity. I understand what Wayne Bennett's all about. He knows a lot about Tony Carroll, and he knows that he will do him a good job, but surely you've got to give the youngsters a go.
Great Britain on halfway with Gareth Ellis. Ian Millward, what say you?
Yeah, there's some talented players out here. There's nothing between the two teams. You've got to say the replacement of Ring before half-time and this stage after half-time, the 15 minutes, has been a contributing factor. He's playing that well. They've kept Buderus on, Kimmorley also with him, and Gower. So that's a sign. They've got 4 quick blokes. This is testing time for Great Britain, but they handle it well, Eddie. They handle it very well.
So far, Kimmorley, though, and as you say, these quick men around the ruck having a growing influence on this match.
Not only that, the would-be runners, they're running the angle as well. It's not just straight in and out.
And he did well to hang on to that, Willie Tonga. Here's Nathan Hindmarsh. He will take the tackle. That will be the last.
Surely the bomb here.
Buderus flicks the ball in to Gower. Gower attacking the line. Great Britain hanging off again. Another tester for Reardon. Oh! And the ball finds its way to the far side. I think it did come off the hands of Matt Singh, so that will be the turnover.
Great option. You can see that Singh had, well, he had the height, didn't he? He was going forward. They've got to dig deep now.
Danny Maguire comes off the bench and is about to be introduced. And listen to the crowd as they see him.
And it's the right time as well. They've withstood a lot of pressure of Britain.
Well, he's under enormous pressure, Danny Maguire, from all concerned, to be fair. But this young man, he has illuminated Super League this year.
Looks like Gareth Ellis is the man that's been taken from the field of play. He's done his work, the loose forward.
Maguire comes on to a great formation. He hasn't touched the ball yet.
The best thing that he can do now is get himself involved very, very quickly. Running to dummy half, just get the feel of it. Test them.
And the kick downfield was by Sculthorpe. And Maguire is there, but this is Rooney. Oh, and he's away from Peacock. He can't get away from Morley, though.
Oh, good work from Morley. That'll lift the side.
Terrific work as he brought Matt Singh down. And another tackle from Morley. That's 3 in a row. Well, that could lift them.
Certainly could, but look how quick it was that the Australians could see that he'd already done 3, and he was getting back into the first position. Dummy half, very quick play of the ball. Britain really have to just keep their eye out for the run from the dummy half.
Adrian Morley, 58 minutes longer than he lasted in the first test last year. Kimmorley stabbing the ball into the danger area, long sweeps up.
Quite a few of the British players very slow getting back there.
Well, we're in the danger zone coming up, aren't we? 20 minutes to go. This is Wellens. Hindmarsh all over him.
Well, Britain can't start looking at the fact that they'll hang on for the draw. They've got to be a little bit more adventurous. They've got to try to test this Australian defence.
Gleeson got a nasty bang then as he took that pass from Sculthorpe. It was a trailing leg. Here is Fielden.
Now then, let's see what Maguire can do. I can't understand why there's Gleeson having not a problem with the leg.
Oh, long was taken by Hindmarsh then.
Surely the touch says it's come on. No, they've completely ignored it. They obviously feel that he was had committed himself, Hindmarsh. I think he had. Didn't raise the elbow, otherwise it would have been a penalty. Got to admire though this kid, Nathan Hindmarsh. Wouldn't you love to have him in any side in the world?
And this fellow too, Willie Mason.
But the workload that Hindmarsh gets through, it's superb.
Here's Buderus.
That's where they're killing the British side. Quick play of the ball, good running onto it as well.
Gower. Tackle was made or attempted by Morley, but he found Minichiello. They have a man on the overlap wide. He's come inside. That's a good tackle by Farrell on Matt Singh. And here's Kimmorley. Well positioned by Wellens. He'll start the counter-attack. Halted by Mason.
Well, yet again, we've yet to see Danny Maguire get himself involved. There he is. He should have been in the dummy half position a lot earlier than that. Get the feel of it. Oh, what a shocker from Sculthorpe. He's got away with it.
He has. Well, that's 6 to go, surely. That was played up by the Australians, surely. Referee hasn't wiped the tackle count down. Long. Here's senior Hindmarsh high.
Certainly a penalty, not a sending off.
Just bring him out, though. Nathan! Okay, mate.
Slipped it back on the inside.
Just a high tackle.
Certainly would have felt it.
Keep him down,
He'd seen it.
Cheers, mate.
What of a grab, he gave himself up. I must say, what a controversy about the selection of this referee, Glenn Black.
He's handled it well.
He certainly has.
Yeah, mate, take him on.
I mean, there was talk, I think it was Wayne Bennett, or certainly someone from the Australian camp, suggested that he did amateur refereeing in New Zealand.
Here we are, Nathan!
As they say, he was only fit to do the Barter Card Championship in New Zealand. I wonder what our friends watching live down under in Australia think about all that. He's had a good game so far, the referee. And here now is Morley. This is a good roll that Great Britain are getting on here. Newton. And he finds Stuart Fielden.
Great build-up. Maguire on the angle, surely.
Newton attacking the line. Can't get the ball away. Tackled there by Kimmorley. There is Danny Maguire. Will he chink his way to the line? Stabs it to the in-goal area too deep. Looking for Stuart Reardon out wide, Danny Maguire. And Brian Noble knows that they just wanted another set of 6 there, perhaps.
Get on the line.
Nice option, just a little bit too strong. No chance for Stuart Reardon to get anywhere near that. And I must say, it surprised me that when he came off the bench, all right, we know he hasn't got much experience at this level, but it has surprised me the way that Danny Maguire took a long time to get himself involved in the game. He was 4 to 5 minutes out on that field of play before he touched it.
2, movement! 2 here.
And that's Jason Ryles. Wing to Kimmorley, back it goes to Minichiello, that went forward.
It'll be come down, no advantage to Great Britain.
Good pressure from Britain in defence there.
Certainly was. Shaun Long really came out of the line, made sure that the fullback had no chance of taking it. Minichiello just had a little luck. See that Shaun Long was right in front of him.
Anthony, you got him. Hold him.
Now then, can Great Britain apply the tourniquet? Can they just twist their way into a good position? Strong defence from both sides, so we've seen so many little grubber kicks.
Here's Gleeson, doing really well to last 64 minutes or thereabouts, Martin Gleeson. And here is Sculthorpe. Will never give it up against the Aussies, Paul Sculthorpe.
Do you start looking for a one-pointer?
Peacock. Well, Ian Millwood has a little giggle to himself. Let's ask him. Do you go for the one, Ian?
Definitely not. Listen, back yourself and score a try. You've just put Maguire on. The reason why, because you want to get points. He's down, Steve-O.
And here is Farrell on the break. Important tackle by Buderus and Hindmarsh. It's the last one. Back it goes. One-pointer. Sculthorpe went for it. Did that go over the bar? No, it went under the bar. Well, there you go. What the coaches know, eh?
Just want to check.
Wash your mouth out, Ian.
It's one of your men as well.
But the interesting here is he's saying that it come off an Australian player. It doesn't. The new rule in the game is if it comes off your hand, it's not a dropout. It should be a 20-metre restart here.
He's got it wrong.
He's got it completely wrong.
Yeah.
He's dealing with the old rules.
Well, I think he's gone upstairs to the man in the stand, the man.
Oh, to see if he's got the goal. Has he seen to go? If it's
it goes under. Goes under.
Yeah, it's under. Yeah, sorry.
Only half a point.
And now he will be told the correct rule.
Just before that, Eddie, you've got to admire this Great Britain team. You don't forget, this is the Australians' 3rd game. This is Great Britain's 1st one. The other thing, too, is even though they look a little bit tired, and they should look a bit tired, whenever they get the ball, they work their way down the park very well. What's this for, Steve? You're going to have to explain it to me.
Well, it's a charge down, and the referee is going to put the drop out underneath the sticks here.
But it doesn't matter if it comes off the hand.
No, it doesn't matter. He's got it wrong. Surely. If it had gone over, it would have been counted.
Well, Fielden driving it in and knocking a couple of green and gold a yard or two.
Webcke just apologised then. He accidentally just rubbed the studs over his face.
This is Peacock.
Not so sure it would have helped. Great work from Hindmarsh, wasn't it? Just took enough power off it to hit the crossbar underneath.
Newton and Sculthorpe. Not the best. It was a poor pass. Farrell just hacked it forward with his legs. And Minichiello with work to do. Morley leading by example tonight.
I must say that's about the third pass that Paul Sculthorpe's come up with.
That's good, boys.
Maybe they are getting a bit tired.
Oh, and a chance there for a little break by Willie Tonga, but an important tackle by Jamie Peacock, who really has run himself to a standstill, as has Fielden, as has Morley, as has Andrew Farrell. Ryles.
I get a brief impression, Eddie, they all are.
They have. But the Tri-Nations match between these two, almost call it a test match. The Tri-Nations match is poised, absolutely poised.
Certainly it's not the best kick, but it turned out to be a lot better, again, by the onrush of Nathan Hindmarsh.
This is Wellens.
And whether you like it or not, Eddie, both coaches will be thinking to themselves, this is going to be a right arm wrestle right to the end.
Gleeson's ball found Walker.
If they have the chance, I think they'll go for the one.
Well, they already tried the Sculthorpe. Here goes Fielden. Great run from Fielden. The crowd on its feet, applauding that from Fielden. They're over halfway. Here is Sculthorpe again. Long and long.
Not the best pass. Not the best pass. Long had actually overrun it. And Sculthorpe, his teammate at St Helens, really shouldn't have offloaded it. He knew that Long had just to be half a metre in front. Fatigue is starting to set in, and when you think about it, we had 1.5 games before this match tonight.
But Ian, Shaun Long and Martin Gleeson have said this week they've treated the 4 and 5 months, or the 3 and the 4 months they've been out, like their pre-season, and boy, weren't they running hot for Saints early in the season.
Yeah, but the problem is, Eddie, the other players in the team for Australia and Great Britain didn't have the pre-season they did, so they're a lot more up to the mark. And the other thing too is, Eddie, it's a huge performance by these two players to go this long. This is a real arm wrestle, this, and they're going well. Look, both teams look tired. There's not much in it for those guys to hang in there, and that's where the error is going to come. That one bloke who drops off a little bit of tiredness is going to get punished.
This is Willie Tonga, who thought about the pass, and Maguire and Gleeson combined to bring him down.
Well, we saw that, Ian, didn't we, with poor defence just a minute before half-time, when Mason was allowed to run through a rampant, raging run by the big fella. Well, it's all about mental, isn't it, when it gets late in the game?
You know, test matches, Steve, have you played in them? You know, it's a war of attrition. You know, I mean, who's going to hang in there the longest? And at the moment, they're challenging each other. You know, look at both fullbacks, Minichiello and Wellens. They're positional play, they brought the ball back. There's nothing between the two of them. And that's why it's got to be man on man the whole game. Who's going to give in, not give in, but just going to lose a little bit of concentration.
Let's go down to Bill. News of Brian Carney.
Just an update on the hamstring injury. It has tightened up. Certainly he's not going to be returning for the remainder of this game. As to his further involvement in this Tri-Nation series, well, that really is in the hands of the physios and the masseurs who've been working on him already tonight.
Interesting to see there Danny Maguire feeding the scrum. Just had a little bit of a bobble with it.
Farrell again for Great Britain. Long. Here's Morley. He's used to that in the NRL, Adrian Morley, with the Sydney Roosters. Wearily gets to his feet.
That was a big hit by Hindmarsh. He didn't miss him, and Morley is groggy.
This is Long. And he gets the ball away to Maguire. Last tackle here. Ryles all over the top of Maguire, looking for the penalty. Long with the kick. Well claimed again by Anthony Minichiello. Good chase though. Oh, Peacock, he's been magnificent tonight. Jamie Peacock.
Certainly has put himself about, hasn't he? But also the man that took the ball there, Anthony Minichiello, he's impressed me.
Webcke. Stopped by Morley. Buderus. Gower. Gower through the gap, almost again. Peacock with the tackle. Minichiello. Wing. A little gap opens up for Wing. He flicks it back on the inside. This is Berrigan. Oh, no, it's not. It's Shaun Timmins.
Oh, good job they got to him there. Maguire went for the football. Wellens stopped the man.
Last tackle here for Australia. It's with Gower. There's the dab. Walker picks it up, and Walker clears the danger for Great Britain for the time being.
How cool was that? Great positioning by Walker there, and he's had a fine game, hasn't he, Paul Wellens? Both the fullbacks, everything that either side has thrown at them, they've come up trumps. They're out on the feet, both sides.
In the last 10 minutes.
Oh, what a mistake. What a mistake. He should have taken that senior. There was a huge gap.
Here is Hindmarsh. This is an important set of 6 now for Australia and for Great Britain, and Adrian Morley leaves the field. Here now is Wing, and he finds Andrew Ryan. But
I bet the Aussies have a go at it.
Here is Minichiello, and Willie Tonga just backed himself to beat the British defence. 3 tackles gone. Ryan to Kimmorley. Infield it comes. Jason Ryles. Farrell is there. Fielden is there. They're underneath the sticks. 4 tackled. Kimmorley standing back deep. It's coming back to Kimmorley. And Kimmorley for the 1-pointer. He hits the bar. Play on. Craig Wing. And they've both hit the bar now with drop goal attempts. It's the last tackle here. Buderus stabs the ball to the in-goal area. Buderus is after it, and Wellens grounds it. It'll be a goal line dropout.
Ricocheted all over the place. Not a really tended kick. Went in, but the man comes to the rescue yet again, Paul Wellens. Oh, just going the wrong way, got back just in time before Danny Buderus. But what about the drop goal? First we saw it from Sculthorpe. Then we see from the Australians, Brett Kimmorley. They're out on the feet, both of these sides. What an effort.
It's a great game. 8 apiece. 8 minutes to go in this game 3 of the Tri-Nations, and this is how close Australia were to pinching it. Great Britain have never been headed in this match so far. More pressure, though, coming in at them here in the shape of Ryles, Maguire and Gleeson stop him. Buderus, the dummy half. Webcke. Webcke is forced to the ground by Fielden and Bailey. Buderus again. 3 tackles gone. They're inching closer and closer, though, to those posts. Kimmorley then to Hindmarsh.
Will they go early? Will they go at this play of the ball?
Well, Kimmorley is here. There he is. Kimmorley's attacking the line! And Great Britain muscle up in defence. This is the last one. Minichiello's back there. Wing goes for a crossfield kick. It's a high tester for Reardon. Reardon has caught it in goal. That is brilliant.
I can't believe that the Australians didn't go for the 1 point. They had Minichiello way back, but what a take by Stuart Reardon. He's been a hero, this number 5 for Great Britain. They put him under a lot of pressure. Obviously Wayne Bennett felt that he could be a weakness. He's done his job well.
And here goes Chev Walker. Getting Great Britain almost to the halfway line. Reardon just couldn't get through. Buderus was all over him. They're a long way away here. There'll be no drop goal attempt. It's with Long. Now it's with Maguire. What can Maguire do? Maguire! Hauled down by Craig Wing. Gleeson, the dummy half. Will Farrell go for it? Will Long go for it? Yes, Long has, but it's way wide.
A little bit too far out, really. Though he has done it.
He did it in the grand final, that from that range. Well, Shaun Long, it's been a hero's effort from him and Martin Gleeson to play, well, from all of them, but from those two in particular, with so little football over the past 4 months between them.
That's good, that's one.
And here's Willie Mason. Try on half-time.
Spoke earlier about the first half, about how Brian Noble has been working the Great Britain side with the emphasis on the final few minutes.
Here's Timmins again.
Saying that they had to get that mental toughness. They broke down a minute to go before half-time.
Stephen Wild in number 15 is on for Great Britain. There he is in the cleanest jersey on the field. And he gets his first taste of international football. His best ever season behind him at Wigan. Here's Kimmorley, flicks the ball back. It's Minichiello, and he's hauled down about 30 metres away. It's with Kimmorley. Drop goal attempt from Kimmorley. It's wide. Well, are we on the way to the second draw in this Tri-Nations?
Just pulled away at the very last moment.
White.
It happened down in Auckland, remember? Finished up a 16-all draw on that occasion.
That was just 2 short weeks ago. Maguire. Just one little half break from Danny Maguire. Wellens. Newton and Sculthorpe.
As we come to the final 4 minutes, Eddie, you know, it's at a time like this when either side could be looking as though they're building up for the 1 point. Little shimmy, drop of the shoulder, go through the gap, all over. Which side is going to produce it?
Newton will come this way with Fielden.
Looked a bit forward, didn't it?
Newton, long. And he's away from Timmins, long. And it's wide. And here is Senior. And Senior with the cross.
Oh, can't believe it.
Straight into Minichiello's arm.
Well, it's a point that I was making. They looked as though they're going to set up for it, wouldn't they? He threw the dummy, went through the gap, got it out wide. But the finish from Keith Senior was not the best. And it's not a kick that he will remember for a long time. All he had to do was just put it on the in-goal area, make sure that we applied the pressure. Even if it was a dropout, they'd be in a good position, Great Britain, for the 1 point.
Well, 3 minutes to go. It's with Kimmorley. And Kimmorley just dropped the shoulder. Great Britain, as Steve-O says, have to be wary of that. And Keith Senior was. Last one. Great Britain will have another go at them here. Oh, and wing, brilliant. Goes wide to Berrigan, and Maguire couldn't get the ball down. It's
He's got to be offside. Oh, he's got to knock on. What about the offside? That should have been a penalty, and Brian Noble knows it.
The last draw with Australia for Great Britain. Actually, was in England at Swinton. On 1930, January 1930, 0-0.
That should have been a penalty. It came from an offside position. It was around about the halfway line. Surely they would have gone for the 1 shot at goal for the penalty, the 2 points.
Well, they've got a very important set of 6 here. This is long. They're getting within range. It's 2 minutes and counting. And there goes Newton a bit further forward.
Go early in the tackle. They're doing it.
It's with Farrell. A shot down. And Hindmarsh has it for Australia.
Well, that's the 5th attempt.
Minichiello, they've lost a little bit of momentum, but Minichiello attacking them here with Sculthorpe and Gleeson getting the tackle in.
Concentration.
Here now is Willie Tonga. And Tonga almost forced over the line. We're approaching the last minute of this match. Willie Mason. They know the danger of this fellow. He gets the ball away somehow to Buderus. Buderus to Kimmorley. And Kimmorley.
Well, he's the man that broke the hearts of the Great Britain side last year.
This is wing again.
Keep coming.
This is where mental toughness has come to the fore for Great Britain.
Another good run.
They'll
Great
go for
run from Berrigan. Back it goes. Kimmorley again. He's shaped for it. Senior got to him. Flicks the pass back. On here goes Minichiello. There's a man here in Tonga. Luke Rooney is there. He scores. Rooney scores for Australia. They've done it again in the last minute.
He's gone to the screen. He wants to see the grounding. And did his leg touch the whitewash? I don't think so. They expected the field goal to Great Britain, and they threw the dummy the way through. This will be quite clear. It's a try, and Australia, they've done it to Great Britain yet again. That's a magnificent finish from Luke Rooney. That is absolutely brilliant. And Great Britain, you have to feel sad for them yet again. This will be TRY, and there'll be groans at the City of Manchester Stadium. Unbelievable, the Australians. They have so much belief. He cannot believe it yet again.
Luke Rooney, what a record in international football this young man has already. That's his 5th try. This is his 3rd test. And Berrigan, the man who kept the movement going.
Look at this, Kimmorley shaped to go for the 1 point. The British side just got into the middle. They knew it was coming. And then the offload. Oh, what a beautiful pass. Walker out of position. He took the gamble. He was in no man's land, and what a fantastic finish. He fully deserves that. He's a fine rugby league player, this fella. He started it soon after the restart in the second half, Luke Rooney, and then he has finished it. It's all over. They know it.
The last minute of the first half, Willie Mason's try. The last minute of the match, Luke Rooney's try. And Australia have beaten Great Britain again in the very last minute of a match.
They don't know when to...
History repeats itself.
It certainly does. They do not know how to lie down, do they? But the way that Kimmorley just shimmied, they thought he was going to go for the 1. They kept it alive. Berrigan did ever so well. And then Willie Tonga, superb centre play. Caught Chev Walker out of position. And Rooney did it all.
And again, another goal kick goes west. 3 tries to 2. Australia win this match. They are in the Tri-Nations final. We can say that now. Great Britain have now got to win 2 of their last 3. And there is such dejection on this field. And Brian Noble and John Sharp, they know that it is again a question of so near and yet so far.
It has been a wonderful game. Every player out there has played his part. But as you mentioned, Eddie, this mental toughness that the green and gold have. They never relax. They never say, well, we'll settle for a draw.